It's a little surprising that Ice Cube, a rapper known for one of the most brutal diss tracks, hates Tupac's Hit 'Em Up, which targets the Notorious B.I.G., Puff Daddy, and Bad Boys. Ice Cube shared his reasons for disliking Hit 'Em Up in several interviews. During an appearance on the Who's House podcast in July 2023, Cube was presented with a list of the top 15 diss tracks compiled by The Roots. On this list, Cube's No Vaseline ranked third, while Tupac's Hit 'Em Up was placed first. Ice Cube took issue with the ranking, arguing that Tupac's inclusion of his group The Outlaws on Hit 'Em Up should have disqualified the track from the top spot. According to Cube, featuring The Outlaws was like using a cheat code, as Tupac had the assistance of multiple people to attack his rivals, Biggie and Bad Boy Records. Therefore, Cube believed the song did not deserve to be ranked higher than No Vaseline. In contrast, Cube pointed out that he went up against 4 rappers and a manager on his own and emerged victorious.
How's Tupac number 1 when he needed help on that record? Me, No Vaseline, 1 MC, 1 motherfucker, me. Took out 4 niggas and the manager.
He stated that after releasing No Vaseline, the feud ended, leading to the breakup of NWA, one of the biggest rap groups in history, which demonstrated the song's significant impact. Another reason why Cube disliked Hit 'Em Up was that he felt the track went too far with its lyrics. With the song beginning with Tupac claiming to have had sex with Biggie's wife, Faith Evans, a disrespectful statement regardless of its truth. It also includes threats of gun violence against Biggie and his associates. Ice Cube believed this crossed the line, as mentioning Biggie's wife targeted his family rather than the man himself, which he considered off limits. In an interview with Genius, Cube mentioned that he could write multiple diss verses focusing solely on his adversary without involving outsiders, suggesting he viewed himself as a more skilled and creative writer when it came to diss tracks.
I think, when you start talking about kids and family, wives, and it's just too far. I think he went too far too. Me personally, I ain't got to diss. If I'm mad at you, trust me, I can think of 5 verses for you, just you. I don't have to go at your family and your kin and your kids and, your whole life.
Whether Ice Cube's analysis is correct is subjective, but it raises an important question. What constitutes going too far in a diss track? As different people have varying opinions on what constitutes as crossing the line. In 2001, when Jay-Z and Nas had their infamous feud, Jay-Z released The Takeover, with Nas responding with Ether later that year. In retaliation to Ether, Jay-Z released Super Ugly, in which he claimed to have had sex with Nas's baby mother in Nas's car and left condoms in the baby's seat. Jay-Z's mother felt he had gone too far and made him apologize, as he explained in an interview with Hot 97. My mom put a call and said that went too far, and she's never ever called me about music, so I was like, okay, I'll go shut it down. Jay-Z also noted in the same interview that lines like sucking lips and cock-a-fella in Ether crossed the line, as such insults were considered violations in the neighborhoods where Nas and Jay-Z grew up.
We're from real serious neighborhoods. Like I'm from Mars, he's from Queenswood, real serious neighborhoods. We know, like in these neighborhoods, there's certain rules and there's certain codes and certain things that you gotta obey. You know what I'm saying? It's essential for life. So when you step over like a line and you say stuff like, you tell a man to suck your, or sucking lips, like when you say things like that, fella, and things like that, you stepped over a line. Like that's an unwritten rule that you just do not, overstep.
Diss tracks have become increasingly personal as hip-hop has evolved, with Hit 'Em Up being one of the songs that pushed the envelope. The feud between 50 Cent and Ja Rule in the early to mid-2000s extended beyond the two artists, involving Eminem, Busta Rhymes, and G-Unit on 50's side, and Murder Inc. on Ja Rule's side. The songs exchanged between them became increasingly disrespectful. In 2003, 50 Cent released Back Down, which included the lines, "Your mammy, your pappy, that bitch you chasing, you little dirty ass kids, I'll fucking erase them," which can be seen as a threat to Ja Rule's family. Ja Rule responded with a track titled Loose Change, in which he took aim at Eminem's mother and his wife Kim, as well as Eminem's daughter Haley, who was 8 years old at the time. This occurred in the song's final line. "Em, you claim your mother's a crackhead and Kim is a known slut, so what's Haley gonna be when she grows up?" While it wasn't entirely surprising for Ja Rule to mention Eminem's mother and wife, given Eminem's own songs attacking them, it was considered going too far to bring up Haley, who was just a child and not involved in the drama. However, considering that 50 Cent possibly escalated the conflict by threatening Ja Rule's family, Ja Rule might have felt justified in retaliating by referencing Eminem's daughter. Nonetheless, it's generally agreed that both artists crossed the line. In the 2024 feud between Kendrick Lamar and Drake, which ignited the hip-hop community, it became evident that both artists may have gone too far. In Drake's diss track Family Matters, he implied that Kendrick's fiancée was unfaithful and Kendrick was fathering a child that wasn't his. Kendrick responded with Meet the Grams, where he addresses various members of Drake's family, including children and parents. Similarly, in the 2018 feud between Drake and Pusha T, things got personal when Drake name-dropped Pusha's fiancée, Virginia Williams, to which Pusha T responded by revealing that Drake was hiding a child whom he fathered with a porn star. These instances underscore the tendency of rappers to delve into personal territory during conflicts and feuds. Cube's opinion that Tupac crossed the line and hit him up may be considered valid or invalid depending on your perspective. For some, crossing the line occurs when family or loved ones are mentioned, or when conflicts spill over into real-life violence, as seen in the feud between Tupac and Biggie. Cube directed his diss solely at NWA and Jerry Heller. While he mentioned R&B singer Michel'le, he refrained from attacking her directly. Instead, he utilized NWA's association with the soft-spoken singer to label them as soft, a move not necessarily deemed insulting given the generally mellow nature of R&B music. Thus, he adhered to his own principle of not involving unrelated third parties in a rap feud. The positive outcome was that the conflict between Ice Cube and NWA concluded without physical violence, and eventually, all members reconciled. Ice Cube wasn't the only person who disliked Hit 'Em Up. Snoop has also expressed his dislike for the track during an interview with Big Boy TV, stating that he believed the song was buying more problems, exasperating tensions in the East Coast-West Coast rivalry.
Even when he played Hit 'Em Up the song, I didn't like the song.
Did you feel like it was
I didn't
too
like
much?
it.
Right.
I didn't like this shit. Like, it wasn't like the shit to me. You buying more problems, cuz.
During an episode of the Holding Court podcast, Ice-T also revealed that he had listened to the record before its official release and cautioned Tupac about potential repercussions, especially the opening line where Pac claimed to have had sex with Biggie's wife.
I remember Pac came over my house and he played Hit 'Em Up to me. And I was like, so I was watching, the first line was, I f*** you, bitch. I was like, So I've always, and when I say this kind of stuff, the Pac stands, they're like, you're supposed to be riding with Pac no matter what. Yeah. But I'm like, nah, my job as an OG is to give him a little guidance.
Exactly.
Idi Amin from the Outlaws, who was present during the interaction, corroborated Ice-T's account. He affirmed that Tupac was determined to release the song despite any advice or warnings given by others.
But at that point in the game, Pac was pretty much set in stone on what he wanted to do. Nobody was going to talk him up.
It's also important to note that Cube and Pac had a rivalry that wasn't publicized much and didn't escalate as much as Cube's other conflicts, such as his rap feud with Common or NWA. In the early stages of his music career, Tupac admired Ice Cube. When Cube passed on a movie role in Poetic Justice, Tupac seized the opportunity, earning high praise for his performance. Animosity grew when Tupac sampled a line from Ice Cube and Yo-Yo's song, It's a Man's World, for the initial version of Dear Mama, which was not cleared due to Cube, leading to Tupac having to rework the song, causing frustration. Tupac interpreted this incident as Cube attempting to undermine him. The back-and-forth subliminal shots were traded until Tupac's death. Some perceived this rivalry as a possible explanation for Ice Cube's dislike to Hit 'Em Up, speculating that Cube harbored jealousy towards Tupac's success as a rapper and actor. These tracks emerged from two artists arguably at the height of their musical careers, their motivations stemming from personal grievances with their adversaries at the time. Each composition boasts merciless, cutting lyrics aimed squarely at their foes, originating from artists closely affiliated with the gangster rap and West Coast rap scene. Whether Cube's dislike for Hit 'Em Up stems from ethical, personal, or other reasons is a matter only he can truly discern. Nonetheless, his vocal stance on the matter stirs up debate about whether No Vaseline or Hit 'Em Up is the greatest diss track of all time.